Mr. DJ. Not WINDWARD, good night. Yes, we're looking good. President of the New Democratic Party, Dr. Godwin Friday. Good night, sir. To the major, I say big up, my brother. And to the rest of the colleagues on the platform, welcome to North WINDWARD. I have one confession. I am a very good dancer, but I must admit that K is a little better than I am. You see that building over there? That is NWI. In that building over there, there were 39 more counterfoils than ballots. I tell you, you know, the ULP always giving some kind of Christopher Columbus maximum. Everybody else in the polling station, including the NDP agents and the ULP agents, 366 ballot scars, vote scars. At the end of it, you have 405 counterfoils. And when they asked Veronica John, who was the presiding officer there, she said she was referring to some notes last week, and she just remembered that, yeah, it's 405 counterfoils. But they can't find the 39 ballots. Tonight, me won't deal much with Veronica, but Phil Davis too. In his original statement, you know, he said he collected all the ballot boxes in North WINDWARD. And the day in court when he's supposed to give evidence, he bring in a new man, he said Granny King. He said Granny King collected the boxes from Fancy to Sandy Bay, which is from A to D. And he collected the boxes from E to I. Eli. But listen to this, and I want Granny King to listen to this. Grady, the man telling lie on you. He said that the box D that you broke the hinges. The latch, well, hinges are latch. But you break it. He said that they give them a small, Sylvia Finley give him a small scissors to cut the tag, the tie straps. And the scissors broke. So Granny King went by the police station and borrowed a big scissors from the police. I know that is a lie, because Sandy Bay police don't even have a stapling machine, much less two big scissors. And Will Davis, he said that he started counting votes from 8 a.m. in the morning until about 8:45 in the night. Cheryl Sutherland said she went there at 8:30 and they finished at 2. They finished at 2 o'clock. But he continued counting votes. But all the counting he was doing, you know, was mentally, you know. A man sit down in a polling station and count mentally notes. He took mental notes from 8 to about 8:45. All them time, you know, Ralph going to start swearing in, you know. All them time, Ralph going to start swearing in. You see the kind of place that we live in? But tonight, you see this? DJ, give me a tune and let people wake up a little bit before we hit them. Give them a little thing, man. Just stick. Oh Lord, my DJ is sticking. people. Let me take off my hat and shake my natty. In 1985, this is a little bit of history. No. In 1985, the New Democratic Party acquired the Orange Hill estate. 3,500 acres of land. Including all that lands. Well, people bought lands from the Bernards. So the first thing we had was to do was to remove those lands that the Bernards sold. You see the same piece of land like the bigger bigs over there now? They had to move that piece of land. Gomery land, they moved that the piece that up in Sandy Bay, where you live in. Edmund Smith, all of these people. So we had to remove those lands. And the remainder of the lands was subdivided and distributed to the people of this constituency. The land for the landless. Let me give you a little history again, you know. I hear a man say in Parliament that he applied for lands in Orange Hill and they didn't give him any lands. He lied. There is no, and I will stand here tonight and say, there is no one from this constituency, from Sandy Bay, from Fancy, all the way down to Dixon, can say tonight that they wanted lands on Orange Hill and they didn't get. We had different categories. Category A was the people who were presently working on the estate. Category B, people who used to work on the estate. Category C, other residents not of the Rabukaja River. And category D, other residents of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. In order for the project to take off, we had was to get 80 signatures before we could have get the money to develop Orange Hill. Sir James Mitchell distributed about 100 letters at a big ceremony at Turma. You all remember that? Yes. And then people like Gomery Daniel start playing politics, telling the people, don't take no lands. Noel Jackson used to be at Orange Hill every lunchtime, preaching to the workers for them to join the union to give him money. Join his union, pay your dues, and telling them, don't take the land. From that 100 letters that we distributed, we have to open things up. We have to open it up because everywhere we go, people skeptical. Boy, we want this thing, you know. We have to open it up. Anybody who wanted lands at the time could have come forward because we needed the 80 signatures. And we got the 80 signatures by opening up to anyone, whosoever will, may come. So Gomery can't go to Parliament and say that he wanted land and they never give him land. I call on Gomery in Layu to resign. I called on him to resign, and I told you in Layu that I have the evidence. All these are deeds for Gomery family, you know. 70 of 216, 71 of 2016, 69 of 2016. 68 of 2016. And 71 of 2016. But you know me. Since this whole election petition case, I pack up my things, but every time I always forgetting something, and I forget one. 71 of 2013. All these agricultural lands. Agricultural lands. And it's for his daughter, his son, his wife, and his brother. But you see, Gomery believed that he could fool Sharon. He believed that he could fool Sharon. Remember that my job at Rebecca Farms at the time was to work with the surveyors. Right? When the surveyors finished surveying the lands, Dr. Friday, I used to have to go out with them. So I walked every square inch of Rebecca Farms. Because my job was to make sure what is on the ground is on the plan. And what is on the plan is on the ground. So I know every single plot of lands at Orange Hill.
Tell them. Elvis.
Gomery mentioned some names that he bought lands from Frankie Tappin and Lauron Baptiste. But he didn't tell me nothing about Fred Daniel. He didn't tell me nothing about Sylvina Hahn. Gomery bought lands from Sylvina Hahn at Turma. Anybody know Bambi? Alston me? Well, Alston may plot of land in Guava is adjacent to Gomery. Gomery buy the land from Sylvina Hahn and exchange Bambi. He put Bambi in Turma and he take Bambi on at Guava. But I will find the rest lands, I will find the rest lands.
Yes.
The deed that I forget tonight is one of a residential plot at Noel for his brother and his sister-in-law. 13,935 square feet of land. And I want you tonight to help me. Help me tonight with the price. And I'm going to start. It is not 125. It is not $1.25 per square foot. How much you think it is? How much? 10 cents a square foot. All the real good. Square foot. Just imagine that at Magum, the other subdivisions at Magum, at Turma, at Waterloo, right? Is $1.25 a square foot. 10, 12 years ago, $1.25 a square foot. So how could agricultural lands be more expensive than residential land? Because for the agricultural lands, it works out to about 23 cents per square foot at $10,000 per acre. So Kenton, the deeds, the evidence. Colin, I want you to read something here for me. Because if I read the thing, all of us say, well, he make up that. So I gotta give Colin this to read. You have to dance in the meantime while I find it.
So the truth will reveal you. You see their faces, but you never know their thoughts.
I asked Colin to read because he the youngest one, so he's supposed to have real good eyesight.
And I forget my glasses home. What's wrong with you?
You don't need that. You leave that to me.
This is from the Stabroek News out of Guyana. Breach of constitutional duty. Arguing that the allocation of lands at Pradavella 2 was an act of fraud and in breach of the Constitution, the State Asset Recovery Agency, the SARA, is asking the High Court to strip former President Barrett Jagdeo and 6 other persons of the ownership of the plots sold to them in 2010. Jagdeo, a cabinet member, in benefiting from his own decision when he participated in a cabinet decision to allocate state assets to a class of persons which would include himself, was in breach of his constitutional duty to uphold the Constitution and to the act in the best interest of all the people of Guyana for reasons inter alia. Is in possession of conflict of interest in which he participated and acted in his own personal interest. The court documents in one of the 2 civil recovery cases initiated against Jagdeo states.
Thank you, Colin. The only difference between Jagdeo and Gomery Daniel is that Jagdeo is out of politics, but Gomery is still sitting as a minister. And you know why he's sitting as a minister? You know who was supposed to be the minister? Who? Man, I have to do better than that, man. Who was supposed to be the minister? Kenton, you can have copies, the media, you can have copies of these documents. So I forward a call on Gomery tonight to reconsider before this thing. Remember, I've been quoting you already and it takes 3 years, you know. At 3 years, we're going now, you know. And if it means going for another 5 years, we're going to end up in court again for this, you know. Because me a stand up, we have to stand up and fight back. Because why? We don't have nothing to lose. Mr. Indigesticking. But before I go tonight, and I'm going here, Colin to tell me that, see that the other petitioner is not here, I could have utilized his time, but me, I need that. I'm going to finish now. You know the ULP? Their whole politics is a politics of lie.
Yes!
A politics of lies. If you look around the constituency of North Windward today, no other party has done more for North Windward than the New Democratic Party. When you talk about lands, we're talking about all of the lands on the Monbentic estate, the Orange Hill estate. These lands down here was distributed under ARDP at the same time when Raboka Farms was distributing lands. We are supposed to be one of the richest constituency in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We're supposed to be the breadbasket of St. Vincent. And listen to this now. Listen to this now. Gomery Daniel was one-time Minister of Agriculture. But while he was Minister of Agriculture, you know what he did? He said in Parliament that he was farming all his life. So he never had time to represent the constituency because all he was doing is looking after his cattle and his bananas and them. You remember when he had the disease, the black sikatoka? This man was heavily compensated as a minister of agriculture. But he couldn't wait. He couldn't wait for them to transfer him to lands, to Minister of Lands. Gomery think that when Ralph Gonsalves transfer him to Minister of Lands, he mean that Gomery must go and take all the lands in Orange Hill. Many of you know that you went to Surveyor's Department, to Julian Francis' brother, who is the chief surveyor. Went there seeking to buy your lands. I went there in 2013, he told me, Mr. Baptiste, your lease is void. And all the lands are gone back to the government. Yeah, the lands gone back to the government for go to Gomery. But if anyone of you think that you are all bad, you all got trouble for me land over there. I want to tell you something to you now. That all of the farmers who have lands now at Orange Hill East, that's below the road of the old Turma School, and all the farmers up at Lot 14. You know what Gomery was supposed to do for Heroes Day? Distribute letters to you people to say, look, these lands belong to you. Because you've been on the land now for more than 30 years.
Are you serious?
To be precise, 32 years ago. And you know I'm married to a lawyer. So sometimes I just be peeping to see what she's doing. And according to what people and see, it says, after 30 years on agriculture and Kong lands, are your land. But before we even start, all the land belongs to we. Because Monty Roberts and James Mitchell give us them lands. Ralph Gonsalves and Gomery never give we land. Major, keep yourself quiet in the back there. If you just finish your speech, you know. If you just finish your speech, Major. All right. And other people will finish it, not me. So, I am again calling on Gomery do the honorable thing and resign. Please, I am begging you, resign. North Windward, thank you very much.